Hey guys, welcome to week, I believe, number 10, workout number 4 for Quarantine Fit with Candace Athletics. I hope you guys are having a good week, staying cool. Hope everybody had a happy and safe Memorial Day. Awesome job to anybody who tackled any kind of Murph on Monday, whether it was your first or whether you did more than you did last year. Awesome job regardless. So just keep working towards another goal for next year. And, just give yourselves a pat on the back for even trying whatever it is that you did. So good job. For today, you guys are only going to need your jump rope and then space to run. We have just basically all conditioning today. So if you guys don't have the ability to run or don't have the space to run, we'll talk about the distances throughout the workout that you need to have a time of cardio that you're doing. Obviously, we don't want to do jump roping in place of it because jump roping is also part of the workout, if that makes sense. So with that said, your warm-up's going to be 5 rounds today. We're going to do a 200-meter run, 10 up downs, and 10 jumping jacks. So just 3 movements. That's why there's 5 rounds. So remember, your up downs are like that half burpee. All right, so starting in your standing position, we're going to put our hands down flat on the floor. Try to keep those legs straight. Kick back, kick in, and stand. All right, no jump at the end. And then our jumping jacks, just remember full arm extension. All right, getting that full range of motion. So 5 rounds, 200-meter run, 10 up downs, and 10 jumping jacks. So just like I've told you in the past, if you don't have the space to run, however long it would take you to do a 200-meter run is what you want to do. So if you have a bike, obviously, like I said, don't do, jump roping in place of it because there's a lot of it today. I also wouldn't recommend doing burpees in place of it. So that kind of limits you, I guess, but hopefully everybody has the ability to run. I'm pretty sure everybody in this group has the ability to run. So then your mobility, we're going to do 1 minute each. So we're going to do our cradle stretch. So 30 seconds on each side. So make sure we're getting that ankle up to the quad or as high as you can. If this is all you can do, that's fine. If you can sink a little bit, even better, but the purpose is to be able to sit into it. All right, if you cannot have to hold, that's fine, but if you need to hold on your leg for balance, that's fine. All right, so 30 seconds each side of your cradle stretch. Then because there's double unders today, we want to make sure we stretch out our calves. So again, if you're one of those athletes that knows they need a little extra stretch, definitely be sure to spend more time on the calves. All right, so coming up to your wall or your surface, make sure we're flexing our foot against my imaginary surface, all right, and we're leaning into it, okay? If we need to do those calf raises, we can, all right? You can also go on to stairs and drop the heel. So imagine I'm on a stair, okay, and I'm like at the edge of the stairs where my toes are, and I can drop the heel and stretch it out that way. That will feel pretty good too if you have somebody, or if you're someone that tends to get tight calves. Then we're going to do our soldier kick. So try to open up the hamstrings a little bit. So opposite hand to opposite foot. Okay, you can do them in place. You can do them walking. Just make sure we do that for the full minute. Then our straddle stretch. Again, just trying to focus on stretching out those hamstrings a little bit. As far as you can open up. All right. Maybe have that weight in front of you like Brian had recommended in that mobility video to help you lean forward a little more. Have somebody pull you if there's anybody around. And hang out there as long as you can, okay? Hopefully for the whole minute. All right, so 1 minute cradle stretch, calf stretch, soldier kicks, and straddle stretch. And just make sure if you feel like you need to spend more time on your calves that you do, okay? So for the first part of this today, we're gonna do some conditioning intervals. Your workout is also a Metcon, so it stands for metabolic conditioning. Thursday is supposed to be very, very warm, so I recommend if you can do this in the morning, do that because it's going to be very hot. But nothing better than running in the heat to get yourself acclimated to working out in the warmer temperatures. So for your conditioning intervals, you're going to need a 15-minute block of time. You're going to be working every 3 minutes. How fast you move within that time frame is the amount of rest that you're going to get. So You're gonna have a total of 5 rounds. So every 3 minutes you're working starting at the 0, okay? So it's a 200-meter sprint. So whatever section of space you have outside that you do your 200-meter warm-up run, that's the same space you'd wanna use if you have a treadmill, and you're able to measure your meters on the treadmill, which I think most do. You could do it that way, excuse me. So you wanna make sure it's a sprint, that you're earning that rest, but you also don't want to do the first round as fast as you possibly can, because you want to try to beat yourself every single time, if that makes sense. So you want your 5th round to be your fastest, ideally, okay? Typically in something that has rounds of 5, it's usually around round 3 that you're like, oh my God. So my best suggestion for something like this, when I'm having a runner do it at a track, you want to go pretty hard on the first round, but manageable. Your second round should be where you kind of find that really good pace that you're able to stick with. Your third round, you should really just be into it by that point. 4th and 5th, balls to the wall, okay? So definitely want to make sure that you focus on that. It's only 200 meters. Next time I might make you do 400 meters, but we'll start with the 200 today. So 15 minutes of that every 3 minutes. Again, working for however long it takes you to do that sprint, earning that additional rest. So do the best that you can to get as much rest as you possibly can, all right? Because even though it's like, oh, 3 minutes, every 3 minutes I'm working, you're working for probably half of that. So just be smart, but really, use this as a good fitness gauge, and, okay, this is where I'm starting with this workout. Next time when we do this interval workout again, this is where I want to be, and work on that from there. So hope that makes sense. Your workout is a Metcon as well. So this conditioning interval piece is going to be a really good primer for this workout. I would take, 5 to 10 minutes in between the conditioning interval before you start the workout, get some water, stretch out a little bit more if you need to, throw in some jump rope practice. So again, I'm gonna give you my little speech about jump roping. This is not going to be a workout where I have you working, single, double, 5 double unders, and now I've lost them, now I'm gonna do singles. We're not gonna do that. If we are not efficient in double unders, we are not doing double unders today. You are doing singles. I am not having you double the reps for singles, because this should be a relatively faster workout. And I don't wanna see people spending all of the time that they're doing this workout on jump roping, because they're doing, a crazy amount of singles or trying to get double unders, okay? So regardless of whether you're doing double unders or singles, you're doing the same amount of reps, okay? And again, you should not be doing the double unders unless you're efficient. And when I say efficient, I think I talked to you guys about this a little bit last week. Efficient in double unders means you're doing probably 50 at a minimum unbroken when you're fresh, maybe 30 to 40 when you start to get fatigued. But 50 is usually the magic number that they look for in functional fitness to consider you efficient in double unders. So, but you're probably sitting there going, I can do double unders so good, but I can never do more than 25. Is she saying I'm not efficient? No, I'm not saying you're not efficient. That's just the magic number that they look for, okay? So the way it's gonna work is you're going to increase rounds as you go, but the reps are gonna change on the double unders and the distance for the run. So you're gonna need to have the ability to do the biggest run is gonna be 800 meters. If you don't have space to do 800, obviously you would do 2 4s. But if you could do the full 800, that would be great. So that's a half a mile. So you're just gonna do 1 round, 160 double unders, 800-meter run, and 20 burpees, okay? Once you finish that round, you're gonna go right into the next one, which is now 2 rounds of 80 double unders, 400-meter run, and 20 burpees. After you finish the second round of that rep scheme, you're gonna go to 3 rounds of 40 double unders, a 200-meter run, and 20 burpees, okay? So a lot of people might say, well, why don't I just do, the same amount of work every single round? This is to really kind of tax you towards the end with the shorter amounts, forcing you into a sprint. You know what I mean? So I've said to you before that when you see low reps and short distances, that's a key that's a sprint. So the first round is going to be longer that's going to be kind of your warm-up round. So those 160 double unders could be anywhere from, you know, a minute plus, again, depending on how efficient you are in them. Probably 2 minutes, I would say. I'm just thinking of 150. 160 is a really weird number. 150. This is actually from CompTrain, by the way. I can't take credit for this one, so I can't tell you why they picked 160 versus 150. So I would definitely, you know, don't take your time, but really kind of find a good pace, especially after that the conditioning interval piece. The 800 meter run, again, that's a half a mile. So especially after 160 double unders, you're looking for probably like 4 to 5 minutes, you know, for your average runner. And then if you're just beginning to run, or, you know, distance just isn't your thing. I know it's not a long distance, but 800 meters to some people is a long distance. You're just starting out, 6 minutes, maybe your time, and that's perfectly fine. And again, you're coming off of 160 jump ropes. So you either could be ready, you know, your lung capacity could be warmed up, or you could be like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, I need to sit for a second. But don't, like, really try to challenge yourself. Just get into a nice easy jog. If you need to, just keep moving and pick up the pace as soon as you kind of catch your breath. Okay, come back and you're gonna do your 20 burpees. So it's just your regular old burpee. Just make sure that we're chest to the deck, stomach to the deck, we're standing and we're jumping at the top. All right, if we need to scale down the burpees, we don't need to jump at the top. You can step them in, and I'll go over that with you. You can scale it even further and just do the up downs, just like we did in the warm up. But I'd like to see everybody at least trying to get the majority of the burpee in, okay, even if we're not having that jump at the end. All right, so then, you know, you go into 2 rounds of 80 double unders, which is still a pretty high number, a 400 meter run, and then again, the 20 burpees. So you're probably going to be pretty tired after that first round, but you should be very, very warmed up. For some people, the double unders come easier as the workouts progress. So you may find the 80 is a lot easier to string a bigger number together. Others may be tripping after 10. It's just all depends on you, okay? Just don't get frustrated. This is 4 times, so you want to really try to move as quickly as you can, but smart and efficient, okay? 400 meter run, 20 burpees. Again, if you need to scale them down, that's fine. My suggestion is, if you know ahead of time that you're probably going to need to scale the burpees, start with whatever scaling option you think you're going to have to go to. I'd rather see you do the same thing every single round, so you have a general gauge as to where you're at, versus starting with a full burpee and ending with up downs in the 3rd round, okay? So after you finish that second round of the 2, you're going to go to 3 rounds, 40 double unders, 200 meter run, and 20 burpees. So 40 double unders should not be hard to get most of them strung together, if not all. 200 meters should be pretty fast. That's a sprint, okay? And then you come back and you do your 20 burpees. So I know you're probably sitting there shaking your head at me like, is she nuts? Like, I'm not sprinting any of this, you know? So challenge yourself. This is meant to really kind of boost your metabolic conditioning, and just kind of, you know, get that heart rate through the roof. So really the only thing we should talk about is the burpees. Again, your full burpee, you want to make sure that we're starting in our standing position, okay? Hands are down, chest to the deck, in, and we jump, okay? If we need to scale slightly, hands are down, we can step back. I really don't like that because it's like a push-up. Step in, stand. You can step out and in and jump, okay? And again, if you need to go even further down to the up down, just remember, start in your standing position, hands on the ground, kick back in the up down. You don't need to put the chest to the deck, feet in, and stand, okay? So that is your workout. As I said, I have to give credit to CompTrain for that one. And then for your cash out, you can pick anything that you like to do for core work and do 100 reps of that. So if you really like butterfly sit-ups and you only want to do that, do 100 butterfly sit-ups at your own pace. You can break it up if you want. So if there's 4 things that you really like to do for core and you want to do 25 reps of each, that's fine. Just get a little bit of core in there for today. It'll also kind of help you bring your heart rate down, bring your breathing down, and just kind of help you cool down a little bit from all of that, conditioning. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I know it's gonna be really hot. Like I said, be super smart about it. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. But move, move, move. Let's get conditioned because it's only gonna get hotter and hopefully we're all gonna be outside running a whole lot more now. So hope you guys enjoy and I will see you for Friday's workout. Bye guys.